this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Karina ready in her chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Yes, Laura, if you don't want to watch, you can turn it off. That's how things work. Nobody is making you watch. Scott does not give a fuck about your bananas. You know who does give a fuck about your bananas? Is Yellow Sauce, who are coming up later on in the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn all WNY down just a hair.
Look at that.
Mostly because I think we're on the setting that makes it like really super fucking loud, but the other, like a couple of weeks ago, I had to like use the board audio instead of the broadcast audio. Okay. I don't know, whatever, but who listens on all WNY anymore?
I don't know.
If you're listening on all WNY, let us know somehow. I don't know how, because the chats are for the videos. Tweet us at ThinkSoJoE Show.
Do we check the tweet? You check Twitter.
No.
Not during the show, but you do check Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, not the show Twitter, usually. In fact, let me tweet out the show link. Anyway.
There we go.
Yes.
So.
Anyhow. Yeah, so. Welcome to the ThinkSoJoE Show.
It's another Wednesday.
It is another Wednesday.
I'm really fidgety, like more than usual.
She reached across right as I'm hitting the button to go on air. She reaches across and she's like, "What's this?" and grabs this capo here.
It looks like a watch band.
This is not the capo that Brian was talking about last week that he said looked like a speculum. And that was this one.
That's in case you needed to know what the sound was.
Yeah. Anyway. Yes. So, Yellow Sauce coming up in the second quarter of the show.
Second quarter, yes.
Yeah. World premiere song from them at the 7 o'clock spot.
Awesome.
And the just before 8 o'clock spot is a brand new world premiere song from Ziggy and the Flea Circus.
That's a fun name, isn't it?
It is a fun name.
I just picture a Flea Circus, you know? And it makes me kind of happy. Like, gosh, like the old cartoons used to have the Flea Circuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I picture.
Speaking of cartoons.
What?
Axl Rose and Scooby-Doo are friends. Well, and apparently we're going to find out more about this in an episode of Scooby-Doo that airs tomorrow. So, I don't know where it airs. If anybody knows where this Scooby-Doo show airs, what channel it's on or whatever, like, let me know. Because I don't know, and I really want to watch that because I love Scooby-Doo and I love Guns N' Roses. I actually changed out of a Guns N' Roses shirt.
I was just going to say, we just took a picture with you in a Guns N' Roses shirt.
Didn't I change into this before we took the picture?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know. I was wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt, and I'm like, hey, I just wore this a couple of weeks ago on the show. And then I'm like looking at the other shirts that are like not in my bin where my recently worn shirts go. Yeah. And I'm just like, nope, wore this one last week, wore this one 2 weeks ago.
At least someone's keeping track.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm surprised I'm even thinking about anything outside of my cat, you know?
Oh my gosh. So we usually don't really talk about the cats until, not the first segment. But Tigger, man. Tigger gave us a scare. So for a couple days, he was like, he's a really drooly cat. Like, anyways, he just kind of drools. Well, the last, now it's been like 4 days, it seems like. This poor cat, he's drooling like profusely, like he's just covered like in a puddle of drool. And I didn't realize this, but he couldn't close his mouth. I thought he couldn't breathe. So I thought he was trying to breathe through his nose. And I freaked out and I made you let me take him to the vet.
So you you were sitting out there and you called me out there. This was Monday night. And you were like, come look at Tigger when you get a chance. And I came out and he's got his mouth open, his tongue out. And he seemed to be breathing okay to me.
He totally was breathing okay.
And so I'm like, okay, if he seems to be breathing okay, I'm not overly concerned about it. We could get him to a vet in the morning. But then as the night went on, you were going to stay out there, and then you were getting more and more concerned, and you're like, okay, like I think he threw up, and I think he's not breathing, and I think he's breathing really heavy. And so I was like, all right. So I called the emergency vet in Cheektowaga.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, listen, I got this cat. I need, his mouth is open. He's drooling a lot. I don't think he's having trouble breathing, but I would, I would like to not take the chance, And they said, okay, yeah, bring him in. And then you have to sit in your car and we have to come out and get him. Like, okay, but here's the problem.
Yep.
Neither one of us drive. So like, we're going to have to take like an Uber or a cab or something. So is there any way we can, I read your policy. I understand your policy. I understand why the policy's in place.
Right.
But like, is there any way you can make an exception? Because we don't drive and we need to, like, this cat needs to get seen. And they're like, oh, well, maybe you want to call one of the other vets around the area, emergency vets, 24-hour vets. This is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like 12:30, I think, by this point. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I called the next closest one, which was Orchard Park. And, the first thing I say is, here's the thing, we don't drive. After I tell them what's wrong with the cat. And they said, well, we don't have any way to come get him. No, that's not what I'm asking you at all. We'll get him there. Just we can't like sit in a car and have you come out to him because we'll be taking like an Uber or a cab. And they're like, oh, okay. Let me check with the doctor. And she puts me on hold for a second. She comes back. Yeah, you can come in. That'll be fine. So I gave her all the information, and so we're trying to get an Uber. There's no Ubers available that late at night.
Oh my gosh.
So we finally called, we called South Buffalo Taxi. I guess I'll say them by name. Yeah. Anyway.
They let pets ride.
They're usually pretty cool. They let pets ride.
They do not, however.
Well, let me tell the story because it does say on the website, cash, credit card, whatever. So I call and I'm like, listen, man, because you were going, I had to work. Mm-hmm. So I was sending you, but I was paying for everything. So I'm just like, listen, can I pay you there and back? Dude doesn't have to wait. Just when she calls, I want to make sure that her ride back is paid for. And he goes, oh man, do you have any cash? So, no, man, I'm trying to pay with my credit card. I'm trying to pay you up front for 2 rides. And he's like, oh man, well, the guy that's out right now, he doesn't take credit card. He doesn't have the machine in it. I guess they have the machines in the cabs. Oh, is what it wasn't like, because you
it
were
wasn't like the company doesn't take credit card.
Yeah, no, you were thinking it was like something. No, it was the guy didn't have the machine in his car.
Yeah,
so he wasn't able to take the credit cards.
They can't like do it over the phone,
which is what like LaSalle or Blue or whatever in Niagara Falls would have done.
Yeah.
But we don't live in Niagara Falls, so. Yeah. I'm not going to call LaSalle Taxi to get a cab from South Buffalo
ridiculous.
to Orchard Park. But yeah, the guy, he's like, oh man, no, if you could get some cash. I'm like, where the fuck am I going to get cash?
I know.
At 1 o'clock in the fucking morning during a pandemic. Like, I'm trying to get this cat to the vet. You guys allow pets in the car. So finally, we're like, well, what the fuck do we do? So I texted Brian.
Yep.
And then,
thank goodness for Brian.
Why, if they're not going to take the credit card, why would I let her borrow the? It's not a point. It's not a point of I wouldn't give her the card. It was I figure I didn't know that they had the machines in the cab. I thought you call and you give them the number and then they could have charged me for. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so it's like 1 a.m. and I text Brian, and I'm like, dude, are you awake and in a condition to drive for money? And he goes, what's up? So I told him what was going on. He calls me. He's like, listen, Lily and I are going to come get you guys, or come get Karina anyway, because I had to, I had deadlines I had to meet. He says, we'll come get Karina. We'll wait with her and whatever. So we could have ended up probably going to Cheektowaga.
Right.
It would have been probably a little bit cheaper because I know their starting price was $111, like just to see him.
Yeah.
And the place we ended up going in Orchard Park was like $127 just to see him.
Yeah.
But so you took him to the vet. Brian and Lily waited in the car for you, and you're keeping me posted. And it's I'm like sitting in the booth. I got my phone right there so I could see it light up. And so like I'm in the middle of voiceovers, like checking text, you know, like, you know, it turns out he had a infected tooth that had shifted.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant.
No, and that's been preventing him from closing his mouth.
Yeah, so he can't swallow. Well, he is eating, like, we got the astronaut food.
Yeah.
And, like, I put it up on the roof of his mouth, and he got that down. He ate some wet food that I heated up and mixed with water. He didn't eat a ton of it, but he did eat it, and I think most of it kind of ended up on him instead of in him. But, you know, he's like feeling well enough that he wants to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, so you get home and they had told you, you know, follow up with the regular vet.
Yep.
And then, you know, bring him to the regular vet. He's got to get dental surgery. So, you got home like 4 a.m. I'm like, screw it, I'm up.
Right.
I wanted to text Madison because that's her cat.
Right.
So I wanted to text her at a reasonable time. So I waited till like 7 and I texted her like, hey, this is what's going on with your cat.
Yeah.
And then the regular vet we would normally take him to, they open at 8:30. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay up till 8:30 and call this vet. And so 8:30 comes, I call the vet. They said, well, we could get him in 9 o'clock tomorrow. Like, okay, cool, sounds good. They're like, well, our policy, you have to sit out in the car. Well, listen, I don't have a car.
Yep.
They're like, okay, we could probably let you like stand in the vestibule. Like, whatever works for me. My concern isn't me. My concern is the cat being out in the cold.
I know,
you know, like having to wait for. So I had to take him this morning. I got to bed at 3:30. You woke me up at 5 to help give Tigger
him
meds.
his meds because he's really, really good. Like he takes them, but like there's an antibiotic, and do you guys remember being a kid and having to take antibiotics? That shit is gross. And then there's a pain reliever, and you know the pain reliever is definitely working. So he's at least swallowing, you know, that shit that I'm shooting down his throat. But I needed help restraining him because he doesn't like it. No,
I would imagine not.
Yeah.
I just dropped a quarter and it fell right between my toe and my leg.
That's interesting.
I was just checking my phone to see if like Leland needed to get a hold of me or anything. I'm sure they have my Zoom link.
Oh.
So, but I haven't talked to them today.
Oh.
Anyway, so I had to take him, and I'm standing out in the parking lot, and I'm calling, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm like, listen, you know, it's just I'm out here. I'm standing by spot number 1 out here, and you know, I don't have a car, so we're out here. It's not like super cold today. It was like in the 40s. It was not bad. So, and then there's this other guy that had come up after I had called, and they had called me back to get like some pre-screen information. So but I'm talking to this guy, and he forgot his phone at home. He didn't know he had to call.
Oh.
So you know, I'm like giving them all the information, and I'm like, hey, before you hang up, this guy over here, he's out here waiting with his dog. He says, I don't know if he's a walk-in or he's got an appointment. He says, I got an appointment. I'm like, what's your name, man? He says, dog's name's Luna. I'm like, all right. So Luna, the guy's here with Luna, and they're like, oh, okay, you know, tell him we'll call him. Like, no, he doesn't have his phone. That's why I'm telling you. So they, you know, they came out and they got Tigger, and they're like, we'll be right with you, and we got his dog. So me and this dude are just standing out in the middle of the parking lot, just, you know, bullshitting for however long. Tigger's
Thank goodness
in there.
It was a little nicer today.
Yeah, he got his dog back before I got the cat back, but
yeah. What was wrong with his dog? Do you know?
No, he was taking her in for like nail clippings, and also like I guess she was starting to develop a rash, so he was a little bit concerned about that, and the doctor was just like, well, you know, let's start with a diet. The doctor there, the place is called Pet Degree. It's out in It's on Clinton Street.
Yeah.
And the doctor there is like he seems really knowledgeable. He seems really friendly, he is really friendly, really nice, and really kind of explains everything as, in a way you can understand.
Yeah.
He doesn't, he's not using all this technical mumbo jumbo, just, he's like, okay, this is what I'm concerned about, especially with your cat being this old, but we checked his heart rate, we checked his gums. We think everything's fine other than this tooth.
Yeah.
So we're going to give him an extra day on the antibiotic, and we'll get him in, tomorrow for surgery. So tomorrow, the first vet visit, the one to the emergency clinic, that ended up being like $180.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Today cost me $82.
Also not too bad.
But the surgery, the estimate is like $987 or something like that.
But you were saying they kind of like highballed it.
Right. That's an overestimate.
Yeah, because they think they have to take out one tooth, but they might have to take up to 3.
Yeah, they listed for up to 3 teeth.
Yeah.
But they're pretty sure it's only the one. But they said, yeah, tomorrow, it should be. But they estimated like almost $900. So it's like, man, I'm spending like $1,100 on this cat.
Yeah, but you know what? If any cat is worth it, it's definitely Tigger.
And I'm just thinking like 2 years ago, this cat's fucked.
Right, I know.
Because I was joking with my mom earlier because I texted my mom to let her know what was going on.
Yeah.
Because my mom helped me get this cat. She took Madison's mom to get the cat.
Aww.
And then when they were giving up the cat, my mom was like, well, you're looking for a cat, right? And yeah. Oh, well, they're getting rid of a cat. So my mom like kind of brokered me getting this cat.
That's funny.
So I called my mom, or I texted my mom and said, Mom, this is what's going on with Tigger. And she goes, she's telling me she spent, this much money on her dog and this much money on her one cat.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, it's funny because it seems like anytime I see a comma in my bank account, that's when I end up needing to spend money.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's like, because a lot of the time, like I've got, at least $1,000 in the bank account, but it's like 500 is in savings and 500 is in this revolving line of credit that's kind of like an overdraft protection deal.
Okay.
And like 500's in checking. But this week it's like, hey, I've got over $1,000 in checking. And then it's like, hey, the cat's sick. Like,
yeah.
Like,
But
all right.
Thank goodness we have it.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're taking him to the vet, and I'm like searching online for like what could this possibly be? And the one site is like you ask veterinarians.
Oh God.
And one of the vets is like, well, I'd be really concerned about heart failure and heart disease. Like, no, don't tell me that.
No, not
Like,
Tigger.
Like, I've had this cat for 14 years. I ain't ready for that conversation yet.
No.
So, especially not 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
Like, what am I going to do? Text Madison at 1 o'clock in the morning? Like, hey, do you want Tigger to live?
Right?
Like,
oh, can you imagine having to make that decision? And like,
so that's why I've been like keeping her in like, as soon as I thought it was a reasonable time to text her yesterday, I did. And then like, as soon as I was like in the Uber on the way home today, I texted her like, hey, so Tigger just went in. He's got surgery tomorrow at 8:30. I will text you as soon as he's done.
yeah,
So I just wanted to keep her in the loop because
I'm sure she appreciates that.
yeah. But Tigger should be all right. He's probably going to be down a tooth, but he'll be okay.
2 or 3.
Or 2 or 3.
Depending on how many teeth, we might have to adjust his diet permanently.
I'm thinking we're probably going to have to anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. But hopefully, luckily it's just a tooth.
I know. It could have like your mind goes to the worst case scenario that you can think of, and mine was like he can't swallow, he can't breathe.
Yeah.
And they said because he kind of was in respiratory distress to an extent. Like they said, if like a cat can't breathe, get them to a vet immediately.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the fact that we we did right. And,
yeah.
he's going to be okay.
I mean,
And
we
I'm
probably
very
probably
glad.
could have saved like $100 waiting until the next morning, but I'm glad we didn't because
Yeah, well, we
you
got
know,
started on the antibiotics, which,
Right.
you know, every dose of antibiotics is going to make a difference,
Yeah,
especially having
absolutely.
surgery.
absolutely. I mean, it's less about the money and more about the health and safety
Yeah,
of my
definitely.
cat, you know, who I've had for you know almost 14 years now.
No. How old was Madison when she got that cat?
She had to be like 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's kind of how I figured it out.
I was still living in Niagara Falls when I got him, so that was a long time ago.
Wow.
So yeah, it's gonna cost me like $900 tomorrow to take care of the cat. So, you know, you don't have to. I don't need it, but if you want to, when that tip link pops up in a minute here on the bottom of the screen,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I know your sister was like, "Oh, how much money do they need?" And I'm just like, "None."
Yeah, Allison's
There it is,
like,
right there.
Yeah, Allison's not gonna know that an animal is suffering and not like try to do something.
She had sent me something on Instagram, as she often does, and I texted her, you know, I replied to it like, "Hey, I heard, you know, Karina said that you were wondering if we needed any money or anything for the cat. Don't worry about it. I got it, but I really appreciate you offering."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you know, it's really shitty because that's gonna basically drain the bank account, but
Yeah, but you work.
I do, and I
More will
you know,
come.
I can just make up for that pretty much right now if I need to. But
Right. That's good.
yeah. So but yeah, it's just kind of like, it's just kind of like, man, I saw a comma in my bank account and then the cat got sick. There goes that Xbox Series S I was going to buy.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Maybe another day.
I'll get it the next time they're in stock.
Yeah.
I literally like got the email from GameStop today. That's like, we have these available for pre-order.
Oh.
Like, damn.
Well.
So I send you to the vet
Mm.
because I couldn't go. I had deadlines I had to meet, and I'm like messaging with one of my, you know, regulars because he had sent me my script, and I'm like, dude, I am so not ready for you right now. I'm like,
Yeah, that was as we were like on the way out the door.
I think it was
A little before that.
a little before that, and I'm like, listen, man, it's gonna be like 5-10 minutes. I'm trying to get this cat out the door, get him to the vet. So it's just, I'm sending my girlfriend, you know, give me like 5-10 minutes. And he's like, no problem, bud, no problem. And then as you were getting ready to leave, he's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, she's on her way out the door right now. Hopefully we'll, you know, I'll be able to, you know, I'll keep you posted on what's going on, you know, because, you know, we're not like besties or anything, you know what I mean? But you know, I'd say, dudes, you know, I've been working with him long enough where we're friends. We kind of,
Yeah.
you know, if we have like family trouble or whatever, like he'll tell me what's going on with his family. I'll tell him what's going on here, and
Yeah.
you know, we kind of know about each other, and so, you know, he was like, oh, you know, what's going on with you? You know, last night when I delivered, he's like, so what's up with your cat? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I got another couple of thousand words I still need to read, and then I need to go to bed so I could get up early in the morning and take him to the vet. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Laura, yes, no. Xbox Series X is not in stock, but you can go on GameStop and pre-order them, and you should be able to get it by, I think, like the middle of March. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, but that's, yeah, so I'm sending you out. I'm handing you 2 credit cards.
And an index card with directions.
Index card with the phone number for the cab company, the phone number for the vet, the address for the vet,
Yep.
and a note that says, under $500, pay with the silver card. Over $500, play with the green card. Somebody donated $20, and
Aw, thank you.
I appreciate that. And a note to please hug Tigger for me.
Aw, we will. Thank you.
I appreciate that. So yeah, I sent. So, you know, it ended up being like $200. So you put it on the silver card, which is an actual like credit card.
Oh, is it?
So which was
I didn't
like,
look at them. I was just like, I have to follow directions here, you know.
yeah, just well, I figure if it was under $500, like, and really it could have been like up to like $700. I think I still had on that card. So it was like, if you like, you know, pay with this one first if it's low enough, because it's a credit card, I can pay that later.
Yeah.
But if it's higher than, X amount, pay with the green card, and I'll worry about that when I get to it. But the money's on there if you need it,
Yeah.
So I'm paying with the green card tomorrow, because that's $900, So
Well, hopefully it won't be quite that much.
well, yeah. I mean, they're saying it's probably going to be less. I mean, I don't know how much less,
Right.
because I
Probably
think
depends on a lot of
it's still
things.
probably going to be over $800, because I think like the 2 extra tooth extractions were like $30 each. So, and those I think are what they
nickel
were.
and diamond in the big picture.
I think those are what they were kind of, looking at. Like, this might not be on here. So,
Yeah. But it's really like he's just going to get a tooth out. He's I don't know that he's suffering, but he's uncomfortable right now. But he's going to be okay. Like, as soon as they get that tooth out of there, he's going to feel so much better.
oh yeah,
He's probably going to be like, what the fuck happened to my mouth? But
it's I keep looking at him, and he keeps looking at me, and he's got those big eyes.
I
and
know.
He's got his mouth open and his tongue out, and he's looking at me like.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It's like, I feel so bad for you, dude, but you're gonna feel better tomorrow, I promise.
Yeah.
After they take care of you tomorrow,
Yeah.
So
Oh, look, Mom's in the chat. Hi, Mom.
she's been in the chat.
Well, I didn't see.
So, yeah, but yeah, that's we're hoping everything goes well tomorrow, and he'll
Yeah.
be home and be able to eat in the next few days. Eat normally.
Eat normal food. Yeah, he's probably gonna need wet food for a while.
Yeah, the vet sent me home with what he calls he was calling astronaut paste.
Yeah.
It's just like a flavored paste that's
Yeah.
meant for like caloric intake.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a brown toothpaste or something like that,
Yeah,
which doesn't look like toothpaste really at all.
right.
But once I got it in Tigger's mouth and he like realized I gave him something good instead of just medicine, he was like, okay, he was all about it.
Yeah, they were telling me like it's got like sugars and stuff, so
Yeah.
he's just gonna take it and eat it hopefully, and
Yeah.
and it's gonna help with caloric intake, so he's not like starving while he's not eating.
Yeah.
But we have to we can't feed him after 10 tonight.
Yep.
That includes meds.
Yep.
Like
He's already had his nighttime meds.
yeah.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah, I actually had called, and I'm, I was just because I'm like, should I give him his meds in the morning? They're like, no, just, skip the meds in the morning. No food after 10. You could give him water up until he gets here. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yep.
So now the process of we got to get him there and then get him home. So
Yeah. So we have to make a few phone calls.
I think, I guess we do have to make a few, because like if I Uber there, like I have to wait for them to come out and get him. So I don't know how long that's going to be.
Right.
If I Uber to pick him up, I don't know how much paperwork I got to go through and sign and everything.
That's true, too.
So I don't know. We're probably going to have to make some phone calls and try and find a ride or whatever. But,
But we have some good friends, so we'll figure it out.
yeah, luckily, but luckily it doesn't seem like he's in a lot of pain. He's breathing okay.
He just seems like he's uncomfortable. I mean, like you would be uncomfortable if like you couldn't.
You're just sitting here like this. Can't close your mouth. Yeah, he'll be okay, I think, after he gets the tooth out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He'll feel better right away.
Hopefully, he'll feel a lot better by the time he gets home tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
But
yeah, that's been my week.
Yep.
Your week too. Yeah.
Yep. Well, my week on top of that, I mean, I wasn't here last week. I had an MS relapse.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy, just some spasms and twitching and fatigue, and like I couldn't get out of bed. Like seriously, not a huge deal, except for that it pauses life.
Right.
And like the house got really messy, and then the cat got sick, and it's like, well, what's the point in like cleaning this stuff when the cat's drooling all over it? Like
There's just a big puddle under where he was.
God,
It's like,
it's gross.
Like it could be much worse than drool,
yeah.
but
Yeah, it could.
but still.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. So
I was doing. I downloaded the Bandcamp app.
did you?
And
That means on Bandcamp Friday, next Friday, you can you could buy some Living Brain Dead merch.
Yes, and that's kind of what I was thinking.
So.
But I was kind of searching around, and I stumbled upon a band that we haven't heard of yet.
Yeah, they don't have a Facebook either, it turns out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was looking for them on Facebook.
Actually, I went on their Bandcamp to look for the Facebook link. There was no Facebook link, just an Instagram. So
well, I guess they're that punk rock. They don't have a Facebook.
At Violent Way Oi on Instagram. And this is Violent Way, and the song's called It Ain't Right on All WNY. Think So Joe Show. Violent Way on All WNY. Think So Joe Show.
Good shit.
Now we're just waiting on Yellow Sauce to join the Zoom call.
Always waiting on the sauce.
I messaged Leland the info during the song break, and he's like, "Oh shit, that was today." And he's like, "Just kidding." Oh, okay. Sure, dude. Whatever. Just here's the info. So just waiting. We'll get the sauce on in a minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Looking forward to having the sauce. We haven't talked to the sauce in a month or two.
I know. You know, it would be so wonderful to see the sauce, in person, in the flesh. You know,
they're sitting in the waiting room. Admit. They're joining. There they are.
Hey, we're here with Devin Mullen.
Hold on, wait.
Wow.
Pre-recorded interview.
Hold on, let me fix that. Give me a second, guys.
Hi, sauce.
We can hear you, but the people can't yet. Give me just 1 second. I had a I gotta fix something.
You are sideways. Okay. When my phone goes sideways, I just smack the side of it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help, but I do smack it. There you go.
That's not what I want, though. Hold on. Where is... I can't find the... No, that's just them. Where is... Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to get you on the screen here.
Leland, did you cut your hair? Take your hat off. Oh, shit. Looking spiffy.
There we go. Now, let's make sure everybody can hear you. I don't think they can. Give me a sec. We'll get you guys on.
Oh, dear.
How do I do this? I got to fix some preferences here, apparently.
Oh, did you get some defaults?
No, I don't know what's going on. We can't.
Oh.
They're not picking up on the. But. Okay, hold on.
I thought Leland was barking. I was like, that's a talent. Hi, puppy.
See, we can hear them, but nobody else can.
Oh.
And I don't know how to fix it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait, hold on. Try again.
Speak.
Okay, there they are.
Check.
Oh, my gosh.
Check 1, 2, Chuck.
It was muted.
It was muted. It was that simple all along.
You know what it is because when we did the interview, the pre-recorded interview with Devin Mullen, I muted that audio so that it was just the audio from Devin Mullen.
Oh.
So, anyway.
So, we're here with Yellow Sauce. Finally. Hi, Sauce.
Best wishes for Tigger tomorrow and everything.
Thank you.
Sincerely, you know, it's quite a lot. I feel your pain with the, I don't know, just the urgency of that and stuff. It's
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Yeah,
you
so
were talking about looking in his eyes and stuff, and I was like, oh my god.
yeah. If he was a little boy, he would have like a single tear, you know, like but he's not. He's a tough old man. But yeah. So what's going on, Sauce? What do you guys what's Ryan doing? He's getting the puppy?
Yeah.
We can't really hear you guys. It's kind of cutting out.
It's because your thing's falling off.
Gotta love modern
Check
technology.
1, check 2. Is this
That's
better?
way better.
That is much better.
Way better.
Yeah.
I gotta turn you up now.
Okay.
There you go. Speaker. Talk.
Talk.
Oh, that's better. There we go.
Okay, it's good for everyone finally.
You are. All right. Sorry for all the.
So, what's
There
the
we go.
dog's name? Daisy?
We have.
It's lagging again.
Yeah, we're having troubles here.
What?
we're having connection
She's
issues.
a
Now we lost the video. And
Oh no.
Are you connected to my Wi-Fi? Daisy. I'm not connected to your Wi-Fi. You should be good then. That was Leon's fault. That was Ryan's fault.
they're blaming
Check
each other.
1, check 2.
We can hear you. We just can't
Any
see you
better?
now.
We can't see you. No.
I can't improve it. Yes, hang on. Let me stop it and turn it back on here. Is that better? Should be.
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Oh my gosh, this is illogical. It's.
Now
Oh,
we
there-
can
there
see
you
you.
are.
Now we
No, that was a reverse. Now we see you again.
You can see us now.
can see you.
Yes.
I did. Apparently, we just had to flip the camera and flip it back. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully we stay connected this time.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Cute puppy,
Oh,
cute.
That's Piper. That Piper. Ryan's dogs. House of dogs. And
Aw.
cats. Piper
You should bring
Burgers.
them over to play with the kitties.
Oh, she'd love that. Oh, she'll play with the kitties.
Whisper would love to have someone to roughhouse with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she'll
It
play
would-
all day.
It would take all 4 of us to cut his nails before we would let him play with your puppy, but
Oh no, that's fine. Piper's a tough nut.
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It's fine, they kind of Daisy and Piper kind of, like fight a little, like play fight, and it's so funny. Like Daisy totally holds her own as a 9-pound Chihuahua. like you're like, wow, okay.
Well, the little ones
Alright.
seem to be the more fierce
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah, we actually, me and Billy were watching the TikToks, and we saw someone was talking about the bite force, and the Chihuahua has like the greatest bite force out of like even above pit bulls and shepherds and stuff like that.
That is terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wild, right? Like, well, at least we don't have to worry about Piper hurting Daisy.
Right. Yeah. So you guys are here because there's some music that you're gonna share.
We have
So-
more music. Yeah, music. Yeah, we keep doing music. We thought we heard talking about the dogs. They keep telling us to stop. We just keep rolling. We don't want to hear it. We're not done yet. So, here we got "Happy," which is a song about closure for sure, and it's coming out Friday. But you guys have been nice enough to display it for the masses on the ThinkSoJoE show. Which,
We do what we can.
once again, you guys are great to us. Far too good.
No,
deserve
you're
you.
far too good to us, man.
Fish, huh? What would they do without sauce? Probably the same thing, but burgers would be bland. Just bad French fries, bland burgers. I don't think there were no sauce in the burger. You need the sauce, and you need sauce. Sauce goes on everything, bro. Keep sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
is Happy gonna be part of a new album or EP or anything, or is this a standalone single?
That's gonna be part of a greater thing. Like we're definitely focusing on like a standalone single vibe right now. I'm trying to keep consistent content, but there'll be an album probably this year.
Cool.
If I had to say. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, working out. We're on schedule for Sauce Month. On schedule, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah.
I like
Ideally.
it.
Yep.
I like it.
On schedule for Sauce Month. But yeah, we were tired of telling the story of Bob Paul, and we wanted to get away from it. So yeah. So we wanted to just write some tunes for the sake of tunes,
Yeah.
and we've come up with some stuff that we're pretty happy with.
Cool.
So we assume you will too. For sure. Ever since like Peace Out was the first from this what'll be the album, and then we've been doing this thing in the studio where like we'll go back and forth, and like I'll write a song one month, and then Ryan will write a song for the next month, and then we're releasing them that way too, but every 2 months. And A Power Within, the one that came out a couple months ago, that was a big Ryan coming out. For Peace Out, his vocals all over it. For Peace Out, I like did nothing in the studio. I'm like, damn, son. Like, I think I put a few leads on and stuff like that. And I was like, God damn. He's like, all right, you write the next one then. I'm like, okay. So he did. And that's all she wrote. So I wrote A Power Within, and that was wild.
Yeah.
I hate writing lyrics, so needing to write my own song kind of pushes me out of the box of making him do that. So challenging ourselves as musicians still, trying to keep it's been nice to see how our lyrical content varies between the two of us and how we write our lyrics and our melodies and stuff like that. It's been interesting to see that kind of play out in our writing styles, and how the Ballad of Bob Paul, we complemented each other's writing a lot, and now we're kind of pulling it apart to see what's there, essentially. So it's been quite a process. I usually don't even write my own songs, so it's been quite a thing for me,
Yeah. Excellent.
It should be pointed out, I've contributed nothing to this new album so far.
So far.
Yet.
That's the thing, is like, there's got to be some fun new angles to it, considering where we're not on that story vibe. But like, we still want our classic narrator to be included, and to have. I just want it to be good. Like we did like Pulled Over back in the day, and like I'd like to do something maybe along those lines with it, and there's really an open end to it, because there's like bits like Pulled Over and stuff that we've thought of doing that don't necessarily complement the story, but would still be great. So I think that there will be like a probably a bit day in our near future and stuff like that. We got chalked ideas and stuff like that for bits and what have you. Even more pulled over bits. We could be pulled over again. Who knows? You know?
Over again. Oh, you two again. There's the preview. That's it. That's all you get. Or you three again. Yeah.
Do you boys have any idea? Oh, you two in the banana again? Come on. Have you yet gotten a license for that banana?
Oh, so good. That's one of the best things we've done for sure.
We were.
I want to make like an animate for it at some point. Release an animation. For
no!
It
That shit again.
No.
Like I did for mayonnaise, but better.
Oh jeez.
We were at Flower House, like Noiseland, a couple of weeks ago, and I was telling her how we set up to record for Pulled Over, how Jay had that all set up, and like how he got that to sound as good as he did, which was just incredible. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely.
That was a fun time.
Absolutely.
I loved recording. Absolutely. I remember recording the original Ballad of Bob Paul album with Jay. There were a lot of just hilarious and hysterical moments and just some nifty things that we did. Particularly, like there was a version of Taco No Bueno that nobody should ever hear that like Ryan like wasn't at the studio one night and
oh geez.
I brought a bottle of rum and Jay and I were just getting fucked up. We were soft beyond thought. And I recorded the most ridiculous vocal to Taco No Bueno while we were doing that, and we threw it out. When we were back with a regular state of mind, we're like, this was a little bit too progressive, I think.
That's how you word it nicely.
So, yeah, we were shot, but it was a good experience in general, you know. It's nice to just get as rum drunk as you can and try to do good tracks. There's a beauty to that. Maybe in another life. We could do something like that.
Hello.
Hello.
He's talking.
Yeah.
Somebody,
she can't deal with this attention dynamic.
Somebody, and I'm not sure if it was one of you. It might have been one of you. It might have been somebody else. But somebody suggested redoing a third version of the Ballad of Bob Paul, but with me reading the lyrics.
I think that was me.
We played around the idea of like a kind of like a storybook. Kind of like a children's storybook with pictures and illustrations and whatnot. Obviously, our content is not geared towards children, but you know, it'd be a fun little thing to have around and stuff like that. And it would be more to adding to the story of some of the things. There's still a lot of kind of left open to interpretation in the Ballad of Bob Paul, and I'd like to solidify more of that in the future.
Yeah, it's hard to really encompass an entire story as you'd like to in an album. And I hope that we'll get better and better at that as we keep, because we will continue to do that. But for sure, it's just like I've also thought about doing short story versions of the album, and Bison for that matter too. You know, because I feel like even if it's not like the linear story that Bison portrays in the EP, you know, maybe there's a story about the Bison that I can better bring to life in somewhat of a short story. I prefer short stories in most versions of literature, I suppose, just for the punchiness, you know, to the point. I like that. Right. Almost a game of making the story short.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Get out.
So, yellow sauce is not the only thing that either of you guys are involved in. We know a little bit about what's going on with Evening Slumber. We just lost your video.
Oh, there they are again. They're back.
I got a little battery. No, it's fine. We're back.
You're back.
And you're back. So we know what's going on a little bit with Evening Slumber, but Ryan, what have you been up to with Strange Standard? Are you guys doing anything?
Yeah, we actually just kind of made a music video. This little music video.
Yeah.
That I hope we'll be releasing soon. It's called Don't Mind Me. So I believe that track is up on Spotify right now. But we've been doing kind of staying low for the most part with no shows and stuff like that. You know, our thing was more so kind of gigging out, you know, and we would play for like 3 hours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of more of like what we were doing. But we've just like Sauce has been more centered towards making more content, more recording, stuff like that, and trying to get that ball rolling from that for when things do open up, and just how most people view music is just through those platforms now, you know. So to everyone involved, it seems like a better idea to focus on that, is just the production of more material, however that may come about. Yeah.
Well, the good news is
still chugging along with our album too on that front.
Excellent. Well, the good news is that there are some events that are going to be coming up in the next few weeks and months. You know, they're testing the waters, so it might not be that much longer. You know, it's looking good for the summer. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Right. Yeah.
So,
even if people, I mean, I imagine people might even still be masked in the venues.
Oh yeah,
but you know,
but
I would rather be masked in there.
Too. Most people just probably will.
Yeah.
Or, you know, 90 people cramming stamps, you know what I mean? The second it opens up again, you know.
Right. Right.
You know, it'll happen.
Yeah. We miss stamps.
I'm living a lot
Totally
closer
miss stamps.
to stamps now.
We were trying to do like a live stream from stamps, but I guess they're in like no shape to even do that right at this second.
It's not something that they're ready to do. So. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're doing things in there or if they're just, you know, dusty.
That'd be cool if we did, you know, live performances and stamps.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That'd be nice.
Maybe they're using it as like a storage space for personal belongings or something.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Because they definitely like decided to go in, you know, and close down for the long haul and just let all this pass. And
yeah.
I'm glad they had the success that they did with the T-shirt campaign and stuff. Because like, I don't know, if something like that, simple and ingenious, you know, could really hold it together for them. I you know, it's amazing that they did that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, stamps would be a hard loss as much as anything. I think as far as venues in the city, like, you gotta have that middle ground Tonawanda venue.
Yeah, there's no main Tonawanda venue at the moment.
I mean, you know, there's always the Socorro Post.
Socorro Post.
It's an American Legion.
Yeah.
Oh. I
mean, if you don't need sound or lights.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could give everybody like night vision goggles and turn whatever little lights there.
That would be interesting.
Really play the effect.
You know,
in the dark, you know, glow sticks and stuff.
Masks and night vision goggles. It's gonna get pretty creepy in there.
Cyberpunk.
True.
It's all. It was just prediction in the 2000s. You know.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. It's real. For sure. Gas masks.
Yep.
All.
It's basically like Tank Girl is happening. You know.
Yep. Basically.
So.
Ow.
It's fine. Yeah. So she cannot deal with you giving attention to a electronic
No, she's
device.
just bored. She's a puppy. Being a puppy, like, Dad, play with me.
Has it been awesome having like extra time to spend with your animals since lockdown and everything?
Well, Julia works from home, so she gets to spend all the time with the animals.
Oh.
I've been out working and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't get that luxury so much. The dogs appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
And they're always very excited when I get home.
Yeah.
Very excited.
But there's not
I
like
play
the
with
social
Piper.
aspect,
Obviously,
you know?
can see I play with Piper the most.
Yes. There's not like the social aspect. Like you're not going to Stamps on a Saturday night. You're staying in with your pets.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
For the most part, yeah. I've been home, yeah, for the most part. I just come home, and that's the end of it. Which has been nice.
Yeah, I know. It's got its charm.
You know, it's sad that, you know, things aren't, you know, more shows aren't going on and stuff like that. But, like, you know, I'm happy to take a break. I'm happy to take a break. When it's like, oh, we need live show. I'm like, shh. It's okay.
I think with the way that the scene has existed recently, and like I don't know, like just the way that the musical saturation has worked on a worldwide basis, like maybe it's not the worst thing for the scene. I'd like to see things just really come back booming, you know, like that'd be what you hope for, definitely. And I think maybe we can ride that out for a good long time. I don't know. I miss everybody, so I hope everyone else misses people too, and like go back to Stamps and have those drunk conversations. And, vodka Red Bulls and what have you.
Yeah, I really do miss Stamps. I told
double.
I told Jen the other day, a couple of weeks ago, maybe, I said I really miss you guys. I miss Stamps. I miss going out and hanging out and putting on shows and hanging out with everybody and.
Right.
I'm glad we're all being safe and we're all being smart about this. At least most of the music scene is, smart enough to listen to medical experts and everything and wear masks and limit exposure to other people and all that. But at the same time, we're all kind of like, man, we really want to be back out playing. We want to be back out in front of people. We want to be back out hanging out with our friends. And but hopefully with this vaccine going around, hopefully everything will kind of get back to somewhat normal sometime in the next couple of months.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have
do you guys plan on getting vaccinated?
Yeah. When you can,
Ryan's like we'll get to it.
I'd rather get COVID. I'd have my immune system fight it out. That's me. Yeah. Nothing against the vaccine, though. I think that holds a lot of good things.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
What about the flu shot? What do you think of the flu shot?
Not a fan of the flu shot.
Not a fan of the flu shot? Have you ever had it?
Never been a fan of the flu shot. My grandmother does a lot of like clinical drug trial work and stuff like that, and she always, talks up and down about the flu shot. I've never had one. Not
do you
that
get
I
sick?
can remember.
Do you get the flu?
Yeah, same here.
Maybe once, for the first time in the past 2 years, sometime in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I think I said something that was very flu-like. So, once.
Yeah, but
maybe,
did it put you down for like weeks or was it like days?
It was a couple weeks. I was just like.
Yeah, it was probably a good flu.
It was.
Yeah.
It was no doubt it kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Me and Julia were both kind of on and off sick for a month and a half a while ago, way before COVID. Yeah, we were just like, it was around December too, holidays, when just like everything's just miserable.
Yeah, it was probably back when COVID was happening, but we didn't know about it,
always Ryan's got a hot take. I surmise like it lines up with what the symptoms of COVID, like very similar.
But I mean, you gotta acknowledge that the symptoms of COVID are very similar to the symptoms of the flu.
Right. So
it's hard to tell without that nasal swab.
Right. Also, in 2017, I got sick. And it was the first time I'd been so sick in my life. It hurt to like breathe. I could hardly breathe. And I just went on my back patio and I slept for like 2 days, just concentrating real hard on breathing. This was, I believe, in 2017. And I was as sick as I've ever been in my life. I'm like, what the hell, man? Something. I slept it off though.
Wow.
I'm a big, if you don't need to go somewhere, don't. But I almost considered, I was like, I might have to go talk to someone. Like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And after 2 days, like a day and a half or whatever, I think it was getting a little better. And I was like, okay, I've seen a little improvement.
Yeah.
I'll ride it out a little. But that was dodgy. Yeah. I just sat on a recliner on the back patio and I was like, just sleeping it out. Just sleep it away. And it worked. It sucked though.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That was bad.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Like I can't, like if I'm sick, I'm sleeping.
Yep.
I don't want to go to a doctor. I don't want to go see, I don't like doctors. I don't like meds. I'm sleeping if I'm sick.
Yeah, I've only seen you sick like once.
I rarely ever get sick, right?
And it was that time that Cam dropped the record player off, and you got like a stomach thing out of nowhere when he was on the way over, and he showed up, and I'm like terrified because Joe's like sweating profusely, laying naked in bed, just trying to be comfortable. And this is the first time that I've seen Joe sick. You know, I'm sick all the time, no big deal. Joe's sick, oh my God, the world is ending. And Cam shows up at the door, and I'm just so flustered. I'm like, what are you here for? Like, what do it? You just put it here, like, and then he's like, well, when you guys get the chance, you know, it'll just be $25. I'm like, oh shit, there's supposed to be money. Cam's a saint, I swear. We're lucky to have him.
Anyway, Yellow Sauce working on a new album right now. And we've got the new single just about to drop right now. Tell us a little bit more about the new single before we head into it and let you guys go.
Yeah. Well, in our term-based songwriting exercise that is creating this album, this is my turn. This was a song that I kind of spearheaded, and it's got, I think, one of my favorite Ryan solos of all time to date. I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I love it. Just the bridge section, and it's about closure, as I mentioned before, and closure, like to the sense of like sometimes you just have to make your own closure in life, and things just don't always go the way you like, and happy, you know, it's about happiness in that way too, because you find closure and happiness and closure sometimes, that sort of thing. So it's emotional. It tries to hit, I think, the emotional themes similar to we do in the Bison trilogy, and I hope it can be relatable to some people, and I hope that it's the emotion of it can drive and connect with some people as it does for us, I think.
Excellent. Dewey says to tell Leland, tell Leland I said hi, and tell Ryan I also said, hickey doodah, put your right hand in. I guess you know that. I don't know. All right.
What's up, Dewey? I thought he was going to tell me I suck eggs. I was waiting for the normal. Tell Ryan he sucks eggs.
We went through a whole interview without. We went through a whole half hour without telling you suck eggs. Aren't you proud of us?
He's disappointed.
Are you the real Joe and Karina?
I do have my Ryan sucks eggs mask somewhere on the shelf behind me here.
Anyone here real?
There you go.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Nice catching up.
Thank you guys.
See you guys.
We will catch you guys soon, hopefully. And this is brand new Yellow Sauce on all WNY Think So Joe show. This song called Happy. And here it is.
Bring the car around, it's time to go home. Do you feel what's going on below? Said you're going to leave, what's holding you back? You've been bringing down the moon for so long, it don't sound so bad. I never wanted to fight, only wanted to feel, always wanted to be there. I want to give you the strength to carry on. You took everything you knew I could offer. I couldn't give you anymore. I'm running out of battery. But I should have let you know. And I should have known it was coming. Took off with the key and she swallowed it. Show me a time I would never forget. And I'm not so sad to lose you because you're still happy. Who would have ever thought that anyone else could give you what you need? What you need? loved you more than anything. You never wanted better rain. But I should have let you know. And I should have known it was coming. Took off with the key and she swallowed it. Show me a time I would never forget. And I'm not so sad to lose you because you're still happy. Who would have ever thought that anyone else could give you what you need? We had a hard way of fighting it out when it all went wrong. Now you're gone. I should have let you know, and I should have known it was coming. Took off with the key and she swallowed it. Show me a time I would never forget. And I'm not so sad to lose you because you're still happy. Who would have ever thought that anyone else could give you what you need? We had a hard way of fighting it out when it all went wrong. It took so long just to figure it out, but baby, now you're gone. Now you're gone.
Yellow Sauce on all WNY Think So Joe show. That song called Happy.
That was excellent.
Brand new music. I've had this in my inbox for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've actually listened to it.
You're an asshole.
Well, I get emails with music all the time.
I know.
And I kind of like, okay, yeah, I don't, like, I keep it marked as unread because I'm like, I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to listen to it. And then I never get around to listening to it.
Well, that sucks
So
of you.
I wish I could. I mean, especially with Yellow Sauce because I'm in the freaking band. Dewey, right after we went to song break, said he wasn't going to go there with the eggs. That's rude. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was that's what's going on. Probably in time for Sauce Month. Some new Yellow Sauce on your way.
Perfect.
I've got a few songs in my inbox.
Okay.
So as they decide to release them, I'll decide to listen to them. I'm sure. I just a lot of the time, I'm like doing other stuff while I'm setting up for the show, so I'm
Right.
not really listening to the music. In fact, if it's in my email and sent to me as an MP3 or a wave or whatever, my first time hearing it is usually when you guys are hearing it on the show.
Oh.
So like that song, that's the first time I've heard it.
That
And-
was such a nice song.
And coming up, we've got Ziggy and the Flea Circus. That's a little later on in the show, and that'll be the first time I've heard that. Like, I've heard the first couple of bars,
Yeah,
Just
I
because-
listened to it.
just because it's like, okay, let me make sure this recorded proper. This went into the board properly.
Right.
And then like Violent Way we played earlier. We've got Grizzly Run coming up. I haven't I recorded these from like their Bandcamp or Spotify or whatever into the board, but I wasn't listening. I just kind of pushed the fader up on one of the mics that wasn't plugged in, and
so we're as surprised as you guys.
so I like enjoying some of this music for the first time. You know, like
Yeah.
I know it recorded okay, and that's all I need to know. So you know,
So, you guys, there's some shit going on this week. Did you know that? Did you know the world's starting to open back up? I don't know if it's wise for the world to be opening back up. Like I'm no health professional.
let's by the end of this week, New York State is allowing like large capacity venues to open up for 10% capacity,
It's
including
only 10%. I thought it was higher than that.
No, it's 10% capacity. That includes KeyBank Center and for Sabres games. I know I had mentioned Buffalo being the Sabres being the only. I was wrong because there are the Rangers and the Islanders, of course, in the NHL, and of course, I completely disregarded the fact that there are the New York Knicks in the NBA.
The Knicks are from New York?
They play in Madison Square Garden.
I didn't know that.
So that does affect more than just the Buffalo Sabres.
I guess so.
Again, I don't.
But really, we only care about the Sabres.
I don't intend to go to a game right away.
No.
You know, like. And what's crazy is right before lockdown, the last game that they had before lockdown, I was at.
Yeah.
The last home game they were at. And the last WWE show here before lockdown, which was literally the SmackDown before they stopped touring.
Yeah.
So, so it's not like I'm worried. I'm super afraid to go to a venue with people, but I mean, it's like, I don't know if this is smart.
Yeah, maybe other people should test the waters and see if they get sick.
And at that point that I had gone to those things, there were no cases here. The first cases here actually happened the night we were opening for Head PE in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you have...
Yeah, so there's some stuff going on. This is going to be going on for a couple months at the Buffalo Museum of Science, Medieval to Metal. It's the history of the guitar. Brooke and Max went this past Sunday, and they sent some pictures. It looks awesome. I can't wait to go. I think you guys should all go. They have... stuff from all the ages. Like it's gonna be cool. So unfortunately I don't think you can buy any of the guitars that are on display.
Do I really need any more? I got no room for the ones I got now.
But they might have some neat ones that you like don't have anything like that,
Rain is in the studio with me.
Oh shit. Joe's true love.
Rain's in here, and then my Strat acoustic is right behind it. That hurt.
Yeah.
That did hurt.
You okay?
yeah, I'm all right.
Was it your patella?
Yeah. Oh, I just bashed my kneecap right against the desk. Ow.
Ouch. All right.
Because this desk isn't meant to be like for two people.
Yeah, it's really not. Okay, so then tomorrow at Mister's in East Aurora with, how do you say his last name?
Mike Zagaria?
Yes, Zagaria.
Okay.
I want it to be more complicated to say Zagaria than it is. But yes, so he's going to be at Mister's tomorrow in East Aurora.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen Mike play, but I have met him before at a Steel Panther concert.
I know that I have seen him play, but I cannot place where. And now that's going to bother me. Thank you. Friday, we don't really talk about cover bands a lot, but if we're going to talk about a cover band on this show, it's probably going to be the Strictly Hip.
Oh, I love Strictly Hip.
They're going to be playing at the Trelf Friday night at 8 p.m., and that is a rescheduled date from, I believe it was the spring.
Okay. I really, we don't talk about cover bands because a lot of them are,
Old.
Yeah, but Strictly Hip are really, they're fantastic musicians.
They are.
I had the privilege, I saw them out in Ransomville one night.
Oh, wow.
And that was a really fun show. And you hear the name and you're just like, oh, they only cover the Strictly Hip or the Tragically Hip rather. Not true.
Yeah.
They actually do songs from other bands too, other popular like 90s songs. And
cool.
They're really good. I really enjoy them. I will, if you're going to see a cover band, that's the one I would say go see.
Yeah, and then it's worth looking into, you know, when you like them, the main projects that all of the musicians in the Strictly Hip have. They're all, like you said, so talented.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, Rabbit Jaw is playing at Penny Lane in Clarence, and that's at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a few things going on. You know, they're few and far between. They're reduced capacity. There's restrictions.
Gotta wear your mask.
Look into all that stuff before you go. But you know, if you're feeling up to it, if you're feeling brave, there's shit going on. You know, the world's starting to. We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
I mean, I will say I would absolutely love to go to a show or go to a Sabres game or something, but I would much rather keep you safe. I'm not as concerned about my own health.
I know.
But definitely for your health, I'm like, I won't go to a game. I will wait till things are better, till at least we see what the effects of people going to games are.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, the Sabres, don't sleep on the Sabres. Everybody was kind of like, when they came back from their 2 weeks off from COVID or whatever, the first couple of games they played were just fucking awful.
Yeah.
And everybody started writing them off like, this team sucks and I'm not going to watch them anymore. And then the next 3 games, they have been probably the best I've seen them in years. And yes, they lost the other night. They did win 3-1 last night.
Okay.
They did lose the other night, but they looked good in defeat. And I think as long as they keep playing the way they play, if they can win a majority of the games that they've got coming up, or at least get them to overtime, and get that extra point out of them, I think, you know, maybe they can climb up the standings a little bit and get out of the basement there, and hopefully maybe when this season is over, get to a playoff spot. If they don't make the playoffs, though, even if they finish like 5th or 6th or whatever, because it is the top 4 from each division. This is a weird year for hockey anyway, and so like you can't look at that and be like, oh, they still suck. Like, they're playing a lot better. They've got the talent on the team. I think, you know, a couple of days ago I was calling for a coaching change. Like, I think you know, maybe that might be what we need. And Montreal just got rid of their coach, so maybe we could bring him in. But I don't know how good he was doing.
Trash?
Again, I don't know how good he was doing. But anyway, obviously not very well. If Montreal was like, get the fuck out. So. But the Sabres, like, don't sleep on them. Watch their games. They're playing really well. I don't even know when the next one is. Honestly, probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they've been playing really well the last few games, and hopefully they keep that up and can move on. Over the weekend, the NHL did a couple of outdoor games in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, that's right. I was watching those with you.
You watched like the first period of
the second game.
The first game.
First game.
That was the Saturday game. It was Vegas, and it was the Colorado Avalanche.
Yes, that was the game.
And they played the first period, and
everybody kept falling down.
Well, right. So they played the first period, and then like the intermission was like going on forever. They were showing like every single clip NBC ever made of hockey ever.
It was pretty ridiculous
because they're just like, oh well, you know, we got to kill some time. We don't know if we're gonna come back for a second period or when we're gonna come back for a second period. This game started at, I want to say like 6 o'clock. Actually, probably even earlier.
I think it was earlier than that because the sun was.
Well, it was also in Lake Tahoe in Nevada, so.
That's right.
But like, so I think this game started like, I want to say 6 o'clock. I could be wrong. The game ended at 2 a.m. and that's because like after like 40 minutes or so, they finally got Gary Bettman over to the NBC booth, the commissioner of the NHL.
Which was kind of neat.
And you know, he's just like, yeah, you know, player safety, blah blah blah, and you know, it's too sunny.
It's too nice of a day.
It is too nice of a day, so we have to wait until later to resume this game when we don't have to worry about the sun melting the ice.
Yeah.
And so they resumed this game at fucking midnight. You know, you know what? I think they actually had stopped the game at like 5 o'clock because it was like 7 hours in between periods.
Yeah, that sounds better.
So it was probably like a 3 p.m. game or something, or somewhere around there. But yeah, the game resumed at fucking midnight, and I'm just like, I got deadlines, but hockey. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching hockey, and I got my portable mic over there. I can't get it into frame here. It's under the light
cool,
stand.
Though. It's cool.
So I have my portable mic like set up right in front of my desk, and I'm sitting there watching the hockey game while reading scripts. I got the script over here, the game up here.
How'd that go?
Went well.
Did you have to do any revisions?
Probably. But I don't. It wasn't like from distraction from the gamer. It was like people made changes or didn't like the quality of that mic or something. You know. But yeah, so I did not watch the Philadelphia and Boston game. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm sure Gritty was probably entertaining during that if he was there with them.
He's always entertaining. Hey, can I see the speculum? Hey, thanks.
Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, the visuals in that game were just incredible.
Yeah.
Like just the mountains and like they showed from behind the Colorado net, and it's just like mountains.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, that is just gorgeous, that view.
It would probably be hard to play on, there because you would get distracted by the view.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Especially the goalies.
And then like once it became nighttime and like now you can't see all that shit, or all you can see are the
lights.
The lights they had set up around the rink and whatever. It's like, okay, now we're gonna play a good hockey game.
Yeah.
And the ice was much better by that time. So like that Philadelphia game that I didn't watch, it went from like this game's noon on Sunday to this game's at 2 on Sunday to this game's at 6 on Sunday. And it was just like, they had to work around the weather because it was just way too nice over the weekend in Lake Tahoe for a hockey game.
That's not the way we want to be on the edge of our seats for a sporting event.
Yeah, right. I saw a bunch of when I was on the way to the vet this morning. My Uber driver saw there was a bunch of deer out on the ice on the frozen creek out there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Were they ice skating?
They were like walking.
Scarves and hats?
They were walking from like one end to the other. Like
I'm picturing Bambi. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking. I'm like, man, my mom would love this.
Yeah, she probably would.
I forgot to tell her when I texted her about the cat. I was
you'll have to text
so
her
concerned
again.
about telling her, hey, this is what's going on with my cat.
Right.
So.
She probably cares about Tigger more than the deer.
Merch.ThinkSoJoe.com. Buy some stuff, and
we got some stuff.
We'll take the money from that and put it towards the cat. Or tips.thinksojoe.com, and that all just comes to us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I think I lose like 10% on that back to like a loan I have from PayPal. But,
oh, really?
But I mean, like, that's I will. But when I look at like somebody donated $20 earlier, it's like, okay, that's $20.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that's $20 minus PayPal fees minus the 10% I owe. So it's like it's not $18 to me or $17.50 or whatever the fuck.
Right.
It's $20 to me, and that's like
that's awesome.
And that's like even when the Bandcamp fees come in when we get orders not on Bandcamp Fridays.
Yeah.
I look at it like, okay, that's $5 I got to put in the band fund. That's $10 I got to put.
That's
I don't look at
idea.
it as I don't look at it as, so I end up like paying the fucking Bandcamp fees because I don't think about them.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate when people do order on Bandcamp Friday. I have a CD that needs to go out. Somebody ordered like last week.
You should do that.
Well, the problem is
getting to the post office.
Well, so I have a record I need to mail.
Yes.
And so I reached out to some guys that I've ordered from before. And they were like, oh, well, they have a notification that pops up on their site that says, you can't order this product with media mail, or as media mail. And it's like, okay, that's understandable because it's not media, it's just fucking cardboard. Right? And so you assume that like every other website on the face of the fucking planet, that if an option is not available, you won't see it when you go to, so I just picked the cheapest shipping option. And then I get an email from them and they're like, oh, well, you didn't read the thing. And like, I shouldn't have to read the thing. You should make it not fucking available on products it's not available on. But I need these. So yes, send me the fucking bill for the difference. So then the weather across the country, like really stopped them from being able to get into the office to send me the bill.
Oh, jeez.
So now that's coming Friday. So Friday, when I get that, it's like, all right, as soon as I get that, I'm putting this record in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm packing up this CD. I'm going to the fucking post office so I can ship these media mail. Otherwise, it's going to cost me like twice as much to just ship from home. You know, and so if anybody who is listening bought a CD in the last like week or two from the Living Brain Dead, I'm sorry. And it will get to you probably Monday. Hopefully, Monday or Tuesday.
So when you go to the post office, I should probably go with you because I still owe Caleb some cookies.
Yes. Yeah, we can figure that out too.
And we'll get Jasmine's Christmas present finally made.
We'll figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's so. If anybody's waiting on a Living Brain Dead CD from the past like week, I'm sorry. That's what's going on.
It'll be worth the wait.
I'm waiting for some shipping materials. That's what we got caught up in, and the weather really stopped that from happening on time. But the worst part, like the shipping materials, don't have anything to do with the CD.
Right.
It's so I could ship a record to my mom that I bought the last time I went to the record store.
Oh, what was it again?
Big Wheelie and the Hubcaps.
That's a local band, right?
That is a local band.
Okay.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't even know where I have that right now. It's around here somewhere. It's not in with the rest of the collection. It's probably behind the banner behind me here. It's on the record shelf. That record shelf. Anyways, it's not really visible.
It's not
during this show. When I'm streaming gaming on Twitch, it's there.
Yeah. And
then I've got a green screen coming like tomorrow or Friday, so
that'll be fun.
So you might not see anything behind me on my Twitch streams.
That sounds like a good chunk of work to game.
So this green screen I got, it's an Elgato green screen. It literally is self-contained.
Oh yeah, you were telling me you just whoop.
You flip out the you flip out the legs and you pull it up and it's there. It's done.
Yeah.
That's it. And then when you want to put it down, flip in the legs, it's done, and you put it away.
I wonder how idiot-proof it is. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen plenty of Twitch streamers posting YouTube videos about how they do their content, and they have them. And the reason I ended up buying one is the company Newer, who does a lot of the stuff we have in the studio. Like our mic stands are from Newer. And like the mount that our camera is on is from Newer.
Oh, okay.
They actually had a thing on, they had an ad on Facebook, and it was like, oh, get our green screen for like $100 or 100, it was like $70 less than what, the Elgato one usually goes for. So I'm like, I'm totally going to do that. And it's the same concept basically. But like probably worse because it's Newer and not Elgato. Newer is kind of a like cheap brand.
Oh, okay.
So I went to order, and it was giving me like $20 more than I was expecting to pay. And so I, responded to the ad. I'm like, hey, you said something about a coupon, clip a coupon. I'm not seeing this coupon. And oh, no, the coupon's expired, so it's going to be this price. Like, so what you're saying is you want me to spend this much money when for $30 more, I can just get the Elgato one. Yeah, okay, cool. I guess I'll just buy the Elgato one. And of course, when I went to buy it, it was out of stock. Now it's in stock everywhere. So I actually bought it straight from Newer, and I got like 10% off too. So it was actually not even that bad.
That's good.
Should be here probably tomorrow or Thursday, or tomorrow or Friday, rather.
So when you're on your game streams.
Yes.
When you're on your game streams, are you going to be like green screening yourself into Mars?
Mars?
Mars just seems like a good place to be right now.
Maybe. I don't.
Where do you think you're going to, the ocean?
I think more or less, I think the main reason I'm getting the green screen is for things you might not know.
Okay.
But I might play around with it for the game stream and try and do something where, you know, I'm just in the bottom corner instead of, and then the game is like full screen. Because if you've seen my gaming stream, the game is in like a large portion of the screen, but then I'm down in the bottom corner.
Okay.
In like a separate window. So it's like two separate windows. It's like if you ever watched wrestling and you see like the instant replays where they're showing like, here's what happened and here's what's going on right now. It's basically like that.
Okay.
So something, you know, along those lines, I guess, would be what we're, you know, what my stuff looks like now, and then I can, with the green screen, just put myself in the bottom corner, have the game full screen, have the chat going on the side or whatever. You know, like a lot of the other Twitch streamers, I guess.
Okay.
But I mean, but to be perfectly honest, I really love my overlays in my game streams. I think I did a fantastic job making those. If you've
That's Joe's horn.
If you've seen them, you know, twitch.tv/ThinkSoJoE. You can watch this show here, this show there. And really, I say this all the time. I would actually really appreciate if more people watched this show on Twitch than YouTube.
Yeah.
Because if we get more people watching on Twitch and commenting on Twitch and subscribing on, following on Twitch, you know, the more viewers we have, the more followers we have, the closer we get to being able to just run monetization through Twitch and actually get paid to do this show.
That would be so neat.
Instead of like, you know, I mean, we never like beg for tips. We never beg for merch sales. We just say, hey, this stuff is available to you if you want to help out the show and help us out with, you know, and like anything we get for the show usually will go towards like new gear and new, you know, just improving the show.
Except for this week.
Except for this week, any merch sales, any tips, whatever, that's going to go towards helping out with the vet bill. So, so this next song is from your boys, Grizzly Run.
My boys, Grizzly Run. They made it through the Shutdown Showcase. To the Shutdown Showcase, and they were showcased last night, and it was hosted by Every Time I Die, and of course I fell asleep before it started. But yeah, so this is one that they're pushing right now.
All right, this is Grizzly Run. The song's called Cold Feet on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Billowing through like before.
Grizzly Run on all WNY Think So Joe show.
Fuck yeah.
What were you trying to show me there?
Okay, this brand. They just got guitar endorsements.
Baluger?
I don't know.
Balaguer? I don't know. I've never heard of that brand.
I don't know, but they're pretty, and they just got a guitar endorsement.
That's
and
cool.
They're doing really good. They're getting ready to, get another record out, and I'm looking forward to it because those are my boys.
And they're part of that Band Together Buffalo deal. So I finally saw a post from Band Together Buffalo over the course of the past week. And it tells me this guy who you hate is part of Band Together. Like,
yes, he is.
Way to make me not want to watch. His name is on this shirt, as a matter of fact. So
what was that?
That was my arm of my chair falling down.
So on the song break, I went to the bathroom where Tigger is confined to right now, and he seems to be very comfortable. He's chilling.
Good.
He's kind of just chilling. He still isn't closing his mouth, but he's relaxed, and he's laying in the dirty laundry basket right next to the heating vent. And I mean, as unhappy as Tigger is right now, I don't think Tigger could be happier right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so unless we were in there with him.
I mean, he's a very happy cat in general.
Is. You just pet him just like that, and he's purring so loud you can't hear the other cats.
Even right now with his mouth open and his tongue hanging out and he's drooling all over the place, you go and pet him and he's just purring.
Just purr.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing okay right now.
He met some dogs today. At least a dog, like a lady was walking by, or a guy was walking by with his dog.
Yeah.
So now the COVID policy, of course, is in place where you can't go in the building. This guy walks right by me, walks right in the fucking door with his dog. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm standing out here like a dumbass. I could have just walked in with the cat. Like, they told me the door was gonna be locked.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, there's me out there. There's another guy, and then this lady comes along, and she starts chatting with us about her, about her dog, and about the weather, and about, she was wearing a Chautauqua hat, and the guy's like, oh, if you go to Chautauqua a lot? She's like, I used to live there, and then they start talking about fishing and shit, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not part of this conversation.
Yeah.
So
we used to go camping in Chautauqua as a family. It was like our summer vacation.
Yeah.
And we would, of course, go fishing because my dad was a huge fishing enthusiast. But a lot of times, like, I couldn't go fishing because I get so motion sick.
Mm-hmm. It was actually part of what we were talking about during the conversation outside. Was we were talking about YouTube content and stuff like that. We were talking about our thoughts on trying to be YouTube creators or Twitch streamers and whatever. And he mentioned like video games, and he was talking about like Fortnite. And I was like, yeah, I never played it. My kid was into Minecraft. He's like, oh, I never played Minecraft, but I watched all the content about it. It was really entertaining to me. I'm like, yeah, I used to only keep one controller charged. So when she was like, you want to play Minecraft with me? Like, no, that's all you.
That's awful.
Other controller's dead. Sorry. That game just put me to sleep, quite honestly. But we were talking about like content creation. We got into talking about like first person shooters and how I can't play them, Laura. And he goes, so I'm telling him like it's kind of like the motion sickness thing, and about and he's talking about he goes fishing a lot. So you talking about motion sickness reminded me of that conversation, because I was talking about how I can't play first person shooters because I get really bad motion sickness.
Oh man, I found out I couldn't play first person shooters. I've told you this. It was Chex Quest.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Chex Quest.
It came with a box of cereal. It was a really cool game too.
The only game I remember ever getting with a box of cereal was Scrabble, or was it Yahtzee? It was one of the two.
I mean, those are just as fun when you play them with people, like real life.
Might have been Yahtzee. I don't know, but yeah.
But I don't know.
We've been sitting out in the dining room, and I'm just looking over at the shelf, and I'm like, man, I really want to play checkers.
I want to play Operation Ivy.
But then
Operation Simpsons.
Yeah. But then we're like in the middle of a conversation, so I don't want to like serious conversations. So I don't want to just stop and be like, yo, you want to play checkers?
You know what? Try it next time.
Yeah, I might.
Okay.
I'm just looking at
not Chinese checkers.
No, it's so the checkerboard I have has checkers on one side and tic-tac-toe on the other.
Oh.
I think I have Chinese checkers.
You do somewhere. You have that wooden game board.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of games in one.
Right.
And it's got Chinese checkers. I think it has chess and checkers. And
Oh, if it's got chess, we need to play some chess.
No.
I haven't played chess in ages.
Yeah, I haven't played chess since 8th grade, and I didn't know how to do it then.
I was never really good at chess, but I've definitely played a game or two in my life. So, yeah, no, but like used to play checkers all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and Chinese checkers. We used to have like one of the metal like game boards where one side is checkers and the other side is Chinese checkers, and you had the marbles for the Chinese checkers. The one that we've got out there is probably like pegs, I would imagine.
Oh, I don't know. I've never opened it up. You know what else? You know what else we have out there is Don't Break the Ice, which was my favorite game when I was 5.
Madison's favorite game when she was 5 too.
Well, she's a cool kid. And I think Ants in the Pants.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you have that.
I don't think so.
But Ants in the Pants was one that I liked a lot. And you have Perfection, which I know is for like 7-year-olds, 5-year-olds, whatever. I want to play.
Dude, that game scared the shit out of me when I was like 7.
I've never played it. It like explodes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's loud.
Oh, let's play it.
So if you don't know what Perfection is, it's this game. It's this board. You push it down, and then you set a timer, and I think it's like a 60-second timer.
Okay.
And you've got all these little pieces. And let me tell you this. If you think stepping on fucking Legos hurts, Lego has nothing on fucking Perfection pieces, okay? Because they got these little, like, fucking...
The little peg.
Little things you're supposed to hang on to. And in fact, you'll see one of the pieces is actually missing that. It's broken off. But like, yeah, those hurt worse than Legos, if you can believe that. And not a lot of stuff hurts worse than Legos. No. We actually had a poll on the show asking, would you rather step on a Lego or a thumbtack? And I think Lego, or I think thumbtack won.
Yeah.
But, you know, because people would rather step on that than a Lego. Which, having stepped on one a couple of weeks ago, a thumbtack.
I remember.
That was not... I got downstairs. My landlady's downstairs, and I got downstairs, and I'm not wearing shoes. And I thought I stepped on a rock or something. And like I'm still, like, as I'm walking, I'm still feeling it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I finally, like, looked down because I figured, like, oh, it just got stuck in my pants or something. And I reached down, and there's, like, this little felt, like, flower or some shit with a little fucking tack sticking out of it, and that's what was in my fucking foot.
You can thank your ex for that.
I'm sure
she left those flowers everywhere.
I'm sure I can. Did I mention this on the show last week, or has this happened in the meantime, where she sent me a message?
That was in the meantime.
Yeah, she sent me a message this past week, and she said, "Oh, I heard you voicing for WrestleLamia, or you know, I love that channel." And I didn't respond to her. I just went on Twitter. And I was like, my ex just told me how much she loves WrestleLamia and that she heard me voicing WrestleLamia. And I'm like, what the fuck? Do you want an autograph or something? Like the fuck? And the guy who runs WrestleLamia, he says, well, you know, I can get her an autograph if she... I'm like, no. Like, I don't want to... I'm not going to reach out to her and be like, yo, Parm says you could get an autograph. Like... I'm like, just send me a photo of you and I'll sign it.
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I'm glad you've heard my work and you enjoy my work, whatever, you know, but like, I do other stuff too, more often. Just did a great, so we just did a great audio about The Big Show.
Oh.
For Wrestle with Andy. I just did this last night. And then the news like broke today that Big Show like has left WWE and he's going to AEW.
Oh, really?
Supposedly. Like there was news this morning that he was his profile is now in the alumni section on WWE.com. And then TMZ was saying he's signed a deal with AEW. So
well, you know, you can't trust many people like you can TMZ.
So I used to like never believe a word TMZ said. Until they were like the only ones with accurate information when Michael Jackson died.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So then it's like, oh, okay, you know, this might be there might be something to this.
Don't trust Fox News.
No,
trust TMZ.
So whenever I whenever I do a script for Wrestle with Andy, I always like to kind of relate to whatever the topic is, because there are a lot of they're like wrestling biography kind of deals. So we just did Eddie Guerrero last week. We did a Big Show today, and I always try to like relate to tell a story relating to the wrestler or whatever. So I was like, I was telling him the story of I did a script for Trend Max, who is a channel I've worked for regularly over the last 5 years, and that's not a wrestling channel. That is just a top 10 biggest dinosaurs in the world, and like top 10
that's cool.
Top 10 biggest people in the world and stuff like and like and one of the scripts Big Show was in. Was like one of the items was the Big Show. And I'm saying the Big Show. The Big Show. And I get a revision request. No, it's just Big Show. Like, motherfucker, which one of us watches wrestling and like works for wrestling channels regularly? You're trying to tell me I'm wrong? Whatever, dude, I'll fix it. I don't care. I've actually done that a lot with I think this guy, where he's just like, no, you said this, like, okay, sure, whatever. Actually, it was a different guy who was like, no, they want you to say GIF.
Oh yeah, he got fired up about that one, guys.
I'm like, if you, I didn't say it. I was highly considering saying, hey, if he wants to be wrong, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
And then last night, somebody, like, as soon as I sent them their job, they're like, no, I need a revision because you said SaaS, S-A-A-S. It's software as a service. And if you go on Wikipedia and you look up software as a service, it tells you the pronunciation of S-A-A-S is SaaS.
Okay.
He says, oh, no, it's S-A-A-S, so I need you to re-record all these lines.
You have to say S-A-A-S?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it's sauce. I was like, yes.
No, it's SaaS. and so and I'm just like, if they want to be wrong,
right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just, I thought the biggest issue I was going to have would be with, like, the word niche.
Yeah.
Because you could also say it like niche.
That's what I've always said.
And I've when I first saw it in a script, I think I went on Facebook and I'm like, how would you guys say this? Niche or niche? And, I never got like a real straight answer. Nobody knows. So I've been saying niche every time I've seen it. Nobody has complained yet.
Okay.
The worst one I ever got, and I tell this story often, is e-commerce. This guy had a script about e-commerce, and he says, no, you said it wrong. It's e-commerce. Now, this was early on in my voiceover career. So I'm just like, listen, man, like, I know the customer's always right, but here's, like, I sent him a link to a pronunciation site called Forvo. I'm like, here.
Yeah.
Trust me, it is e-commerce. And he goes, oh, man, you've opened up my eyes. I never realized this before. But could you say it my way anyway? Okay. You're
E-commerce.
E-commerce.
That doesn't flow.
Well, so
I mean, with his accent, it might.
Well, so with on Forvo, they have like, whatever the most popular one is, like is at the top, and then like they have a list of other pronunciations, and they're all like rated. But there was like definitely a British, like a UK British one that was like e-commerce. Like, okay, dude, if you insist that's the way you want it said, I'm not gonna argue with you. It's your video.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the whole thing. It's like, it's their video. At the end of the day, it's their video.
Yeah.
If they want it wrong, that's on them.
Right.
So, my job is to make it sound good. So if they want me to say GIF, I guess I'm saying GIF.
GIF.
And, I'm sure, nobody's chatting right now, but I'm sure at some point I will get comments on this video like, dude, what is wrong with you? You don't say GIFed. Like, no, because that's fucking a different word entirely. Well, what does GIF stand for? It stands for graphics, not graphics. Like, okay, listen, dude. When you invent a file format, you can tell me how to pronounce it.
Truth.
When the guy who created the graphic interchange format says that it's pronounced GIF, that's the fucking end of it. He says GIF. He says it's GIF. I believe him. That's what I'm fucking saying.
Okay.
So
Okay. Can you flash the mental health numbers?
Oh, you know what? You gave me.
Did you update?
I did not.
Oh, fuck. Well, next week we'll have another COVID support hotline. I don't have it handy. Even though the world is opening up a little bit, shit's still hard. We're all still adjusting. We don't really know what normal is. So there's like, I feel like it's getting to a point where people are hitting like a wall where they can't get away from the anxiety or the depression and just the funk of COVID. And I don't know, these phone numbers are pretty useful. The suicide prevention hotline is 1-800-273-8255. The crisis hotline in the Buffalo area is 716-834-3131. The substance abuse national hotline is 1-800-662-4357. And did you find the...
Yes, and it is still 1-844-863-9314
Oh,
for the COVID. So I didn't have to update the graphic.
Okay, good. So if you find yourself or someone you're close to struggling, there is help out there. Just wanted to remind you guys about all that.
Yeah, we've been showing that at the end of the show,
I
during the
know.
last song break too. So just to have it, like Brian was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. You guys do that." Brian was in here last week, and he's just in awe of how different the studio
I
is from the last time
know.
he was here. And he brought his own headphones. And I'm just like, yeah, you got your headphone there. He's like, oh, man, it's almost like a professional studio in here.
Almost.
So, yeah.
How much more shit do you need before it's professional?
I don't know. I mean, I got a green screen coming. And,
Right.
I got a lot of,
I'd call you,
I would like
above prosumer here.
my ultimate goal is to get the TV moved over. So I think I'm going to probably order another arm.
Okay.
Just because I would prefer to have like the actual like locking nuts that or washers or whatever that go into these arms.
Yeah.
And I can't find the one. So I'm like I think I might order another arm and just extend that out a little bit so I can put the teleprompter up permanently, basically.
That's a good idea.
So that way because I want to use this camera, and I also want to make sure I can plug it into the computer and be able to switch to manual focus after it autofocuses.
Yeah.
So that way, because my problem with my teleprompter right now is it fucks with my autofocus on anything I try to use with it.
Oh.
So it's just like, oh man, I can't get a good video with this thing on. So part of me is like, should I buy a new fucking, like a better teleprompter? And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because now I got to spend $900 on taking the cat to the vet tomorrow or whatever. But
Isn't it a good thing we didn't get a fridge yet?
yeah,
Oh my God.
I mean, but the thing is, we probably could have still bought the fridge and still had the money to
Well, with the fridge, it's easier to get on credit than a cat surgery.
yeah. I mean, the idea was the card I had you spend the under $500 on. That was the card I was going to put the fridge on.
Oh.
Which I might even still be able to do even after spending $300.
We'll pump the brakes and find out after tomorrow.
Yeah, no. I want to definitely pay for the cat surgery first.
Yeah.
My buddy John's in my text message. He texted me earlier. I was sleeping because I got like 3 hours of sleep before I left for the vet. And then he had texted me like, hey, are you free to talk? And I'm like, it's Wednesday, dude. Like, I'm never free to talk on Wednesdays, but especially not today. And I'm like, listen, man, I just woke up. I got to do the show. But like, I'll be home and probably awake between like 9 and like 3 tomorrow, if you want to call it. Because like I got to take my cat to the vet first thing in the morning, just like I did this morning. And so, hopefully by this time next week, we'll be able to tell you how happy and well adjusted back into his family Tigger is.
I know.
How well he's eating. And
you can
everything.
tell the other cats really are like, where is Tigger? Like, I'm not comfortable because Tigger isn't here.
Yeah, Snowball's been like coming up to me anytime I come out there, and he's like, "Where's Tigger?"
I know. I almost want to put Snowball in the bathroom with him, but like, the bathroom's not big enough for 2 cats.
No. But I mean, I from talking to this vet, I trust the guy. I think he knows what he's doing. He said, he's got 20 years. His dad had 40 years before him, and so. Did
he look kind of like a Ken doll?
Yes.
Oh my God, he took care of Tigger's cauliflower ear.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a very nice man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken doll wearing a mask. It's a COVID. But anyway, he was very nice. He really had a very good, I guess what you would call bedside manner.
Yes.
Where he makes you feel comfortable about everything, and he's telling me, hey, this is what I'm seeing, and this is why I think this, and this is why I think we should wait till tomorrow to do the surgery, and this is that, and this is that, and he was asking questions, and I'm just like, yeah, this is we're doing the best we can to get him his medicine. He's like, that's all I can ask you to do is stick a syringe down his throat and squeeze. Like, what the hell else are you gonna do? I guess, but yeah, he's been really cool. So this is Ziggy and the Flea Circus.
Yes.
And I should have started this about a minute ago.
This relates to the mental health stuff because this song is about struggles that a bunch of us can probably relate to right now.
Okay. And this song is called Toronto Sound on all WNY Think So Joe Show, and we will see you next week.
Strong. let's count that.